before Bitcoin, I was in stocks. I was a stock hustler. I was researching smaller stocks like mid-cap stocks and all the things. And it was a full-time job. And that's the thing also with altcoins. Yes, there are great gains in there, and people use altcoins to get more Bitcoin in the end of the day. Most of them that I talk to, but maybe there's a different crowd out there. And I'm always like, but why do you spend all that time to research different projects, research different tokens? They might be really good. Maybe they fulfill a market. I just want to make my work. I just want to provide value for community and then save my financial energy in the most safest asset that I ever saw. And that gives me peace of mind to have more time with my family, with my friends. And I don't have to listen to Q1s and Q2 reports from like Tesla and MicroStrategy. I rather just listen to what my girlfriend is saying. I listen to what my friends are saying and hang out with them before I research stocks. And I had fun doing that. I might do that in the future again. I think it's a better way to provide value and then save that value into one asset that you really like. But I'm curious to know for you, how you see Bitcoin, because I talked a lot about how I see Bitcoin and where my Bitcoin thoughts is coming from. But you have many other assets, as I assume also. How do you see Bitcoin evolving and where do you see Bitcoin going, and where maybe interesting is like, where do you see the full potential of Bitcoin for the coming years, if there is something like that?
Thanks for the question. Interesting. Wilburs, I have never ever thought about it. I'm more focused on a cash flow business with USDT as a main currency. I cannot say that I invest a lot in a Bitcoin because I'm on my way to gain a capital. So my goal is to gain around $40 million. And I think that Bitcoin, yes, is the safest one, like a real estate, but the longest way. That's why I put more in Ethereum or other things, because I think that some of the altcoins, they maybe have some more upside potential in case of the price. I cannot understand why we do not grow so fast after we hit 100,000. Because from the economical side, I understood your strategy 100%, because if you invest in Bitcoin, if you have all the transactions in Bitcoin, it means that you believe in it. So, but for me, I try to analyze. So I think I have more financial motivation than a beliefs here. And in that case, I do not understand why on all these positive news, positive media narrative, etc., we do not grow upper, to the 150, etc. So for me, it means that somebody sold it right now, here in the moment. But for the long-term perspective, I think that Bitcoin is great, and I also have a small fund for my kids that I put some amount of money every month to this fund to store some money in a Bitcoin, but not so deep, something like this. I cannot say that I am a big fan of the blockchain industry at all, because I think that we had a lot of technical solutions that are made from one blockchain to help another blockchain to integrate with a third blockchain. So this is more like, doing something for something that nobody has a real use case. That's from my side. So for me, all the crypto field, also including Bitcoin, is more about speculation mostly. But I like the idea that it can be, this is a gold, this is a digital gold. That's why I store some of the money on it. I can say you about my current strategy. If you want to invest in something, buy Bitcoin. Come to you and tell, hey, let's do this or do this, invest in a Bitcoin. I think investing in Bitcoin on the long term, this is the easiest, the simplest, and the most profitable strategy. Maybe after our discussion, I need to change some of my thoughts, because I'm always try to be open-minded. And I always try to listen people to catch some of the ideas and to learn more. That's the answer. Maybe because that's where I am now.
Interesting, because we are super early. And most people, like I am a complete outlier. If you have 0.1 or 0.2 Bitcoin, you're already one of the top hodlers. Like most people have almost no money in Bitcoin. If you have a whole coin or like 2 or 10 coins or something like that, you are one of the top Bitcoin hodlers. When you look at that, you see how freaking early we are in that. Yes, I do understand the frustration of like, I also thought once we reached 100K and then also the strategic Bitcoin reserve talks are coming in, we will easily go to 150K very quickly. Similar how we went from 10K to instantly 17K, but things sometimes take longer. And if you look at the performance of Bitcoin in the last year, it's still amazing. But I do see also that there are a lot of people seeing 100K as a top signal, and then there's sell orders going on. But this can only happen for a short or medium period of time. This can only happen for so long. If there's so many companies buying it, if there are now nation states talking about it and potentially doing it, they have such deep pockets where it's fascinating how fast this can grow. And then if you look at, for example, Google Trends and see how the retail crowd is currently interested in Bitcoin, we are very low. Like if you look at 2017, I think we had like 30% or 25% of the levels of 2017. So we didn't even hit any FOMO levels, any trigger points in the retail crowd. All the price appreciation right now is because institutions are buying it, not the retail crowd is buying. Once we reach higher prices and institutions are buying it, nation states are flirting with it, and then the retail crowd also gets activated in a similar way than we had 2017, we can easily rip through 200, 300,000. It's okay. Like most people come into Bitcoin because of the speculation or because of like, oh, like maybe I get rich this year. Once you get there and you researched it, you're like, okay, I should look at that at least 4 to 5 years. Like I should not come in here to get the rewards in like a half a year or like 1 year. I always say like, be in this for 5 years and try to study and research it in this coming 5 years as much as possible. And I can almost guarantee you that at the end of the 5 years, you will not only be a lot wealthier, you will also not sell at all, because all of a sudden you understand Bitcoin and you really understand where this mission is going. So after 5 years, you probably will say like, oh, like let's be another 10 years or let's be another 20 years in that. If you have 0 Bitcoin right now and you have a lot of other investments, maybe have 5% in the Bitcoin for the next 5 years and just don't touch it. Just study how to store it, because that's really important part. You don't want to lose it. You don't want to be rug pulled or anything like that. And then just leave it there. And every 2 months, study some podcasts, some books, some whatever, and get into the game. So that's what I usually try to get to people. Like if you only, the whole theory that I talk to you now with the financialization in a singularity monetary assets with Bitcoin, if you only believe me with 3%, maybe put 3% of your money into Bitcoin and wait 5 years. And see how research and education evolves your thinking around Bitcoin, and maybe those 3% come to 5, 6, 7%. And you're like, oh, like this can actually happen. And that now this is happening. And you see the progress of Bitcoin and you see that vision kind of getting fulfilled towards the singularity of money. But I believe the theory is so strong that I've put everything in there. But if you think like, oh, that there's maybe a 1%, 2% chance that this happens, even if there's like a 1% chance, you should put a little bit in there because it might happen. And you don't want to be on the other side. You don't want to be the last person on the Titanic, still on the Titanic and not having anything in Bitcoin. So that's always why I'm like, if you have Bitcoin, you're already better than 99% of the people. If you have no Bitcoin, you are unfortunately in that 99% bracket. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. When I started buying Bitcoin, it was under 10K. Now it's under 100K. If you wait long enough, you will not get it under 1 million. Yes, it always makes sense to adopt Bitcoin because it's a better monetary system. You will always benefit from it. But how much you benefit shrinks over time. So we're still early. It's still a huge potential in front of us. But it's better to buy Bitcoin at 100K than at 1 million. And it's better to buy Bitcoin at 1 million than at 10 million. That's what I'm usually trying to get at. Study it, get some exposure, And if it actually does not work out and you put 1% of your assets in there, do you really care that you lost 1% of your assets, but you gained the upside potentially to have that one asset that everyone is using, and you were amongst the first like a few 100 million people? I think that's kind of worth it.
I agree with you that it's better to start. I think I will start today. Really, it's super easy. That's what allows you and me and all the podcasters being open-minded people. When we get some idea that sounds good, why not to implement it immediately? That's the core idea. While you were talking, I thought about that. Okay, I can consider Bitcoin as let's say S&P 500, not as a goal. Because the best strategy is to buy some of the, S&P 500 every week or every month. And now we can do it with the Bitcoin. This is very interesting. Hey, if you like this video, don't forget to watch a full episode and also check the links in the description below.